What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including an update on Naomi and Sasha Banks back in WWE. Tony Khan says Forbidden Door did big numbers. Wardlow talks jumping to WWE. Paige blasts a person suggesting she'd go on OnlyFans. NXT Star Injured, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out Wrestlelamia.co.uk and a non-wrestling channel, Incredible. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at an update on Naomi and Sasha Banks. Atop of the news today is the ongoing saga of Naomi and Sasha Banks. Fans have heard a variety of stories regarding the former women's tag team champions and their WWE status after walking out on the company on 16th May, including rumors that Banks had already been released and that rumors that both superstars are still in WWE. Dave Meltzer reported last week that Naomi and Banks' attorneys were still working on a release, while PW Insider reports the two are still on WWE's internal roster and that neither have been officially released. Wrestling News' Paul Davis also noted, Banks and Naomi are still listed on the roster page on WWE.com. It is believed that Naomi's deal, and possibly Banks' as well, is due to expire soon, but since they are indefinitely suspended by the company, time could be added to their contracts. Nevertheless, Wrestling Inc.'s Raj Giri, who first reported that WWE had released Banks, is backing up his 15th June tweet where he reported Banks' release. He tweeted on 28th June that, "Here's what I know about Sasha Banks. She was released on June 10th, and it came from Erica Schreiber, VP of Business and Legal Affairs for Talent Relations. As for why WWE has not said anything or removed her, the rumor is that the leadership is trying to smooth things over." Now, if Giri's story is accurate, does the WWE hope to convince an apparently released Sasha Banks to sign back with the company? If so, what would the promotion have to do to satisfy her? Would Vince McMahon be willing to set a precedent that superstars can walk out, get a release, then sign a new deal? While Vinnie Mac is still out as a WWE CEO and chairman due to the investigation into his alleged hush money scandal, will current CEO and chairwoman Stephanie change the WWE's policy of my way or the highway when it comes to talent? Well, that's not the only question, as fans also want to know what Naomi's status is. While Sasha Banks is more of a bankable star, or forgive you with the bad pun, Naomi has plenty to offer in the ring and the star power that could enhance any women's division she works in. What do you think is next for both wrestlers? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Tony Khan shares Forbidden Door numbers. If you're wondering how AEW and New Japan's pay-per-view Forbidden Door did at the box office and pay-per-view, well, AEW president Tony Khan took to Twitter to share the numbers, revealing, "Thank you to everyone, especially wrestling fans around the world, who made last Sunday's Forbidden Door event a hit, with a greater than $1 million in ticket sales and greater than $5 million on pay-per-view." The official buy rates have not been released, but Khan seems happy with the initial numbers, and he should be, as injuries and extracurricular activities led to several key absences, including CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, just to name a few. While nothing has been confirmed, there are already rumors flying around that a Forbidden Door 2 show could be held, but this time in Japan. Next up, Wardlow talks jumping to WWE. AEW's breakout star Wardlow seems to have a bright future in the squared circle, but will it be in AEW or WWE? You've probably heard the rumors that the WWE is interested in signing the 34-year-old strongman when his contract expires, but how does Wardlow feel? MJF's former bodyguard recently appeared at the KNS Wrestling Fest where he discussed his potential future home. "I'm very happy where I am. I never say never about anything in life, but as of right now, I'm very happy where I am." And Wardlow is one of AEW's most popular wrestlers, and now it's time to see how AEW books him following his feud with MJF. While Championship Gold seems to be his future, AEW has so much talent that he could find himself struggling to get into the main event, despite the fans getting behind him. Wardlow has already made it clear he wants to wrestle CM Punk for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship when Punk returns from his recent surgery. Are you guys a Wardlow fan? If so, where would you like to see the big man wrestle? Personally, I'd love to see him in WWE, but only after he wins the AEW Championship at least once. Next up, Paige blasts a person suggesting she'd go on OnlyFans. Our fans are wondering what's next for WWE superstar Paige now that her WWE contract is about to expire. Could wrestling's anti-diva be headed to OnlyFans? The possibility came up after a troll tweeted Paige, "You were a shitty wrestler and didn't go anywhere because you're a shitty person, now you're irrelevant and a desperate. What's next? An OnlyFans?" Paige fired back with this comment saying, "First of all, I would make a killing on OnlyFans. Second of all," her second of all was a gif of her holding a women's championship belt. Paige's future remains unknown, but it's likely she'll show up in wrestling at some point, either as a personality or as an in-ring performer. As for OnlyFans, that's just one option for Paige. We discussed how performers such as former Iconics Peyton Royce and Billie Kay have started subscriptions on their Brand Army site, which does not include not suitable for work content. What do you guys think is next for Paige? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, AEW fans upset with the treatment of a popular faction. AEW fans are fuming over the promotion's handling of one of its original factions. We recently reported that Dark Order member Stu Grayson's AEW deal was not renewed and that Alan Five Angels' contract may not be renewed. Now a number of fans are expressing their dissatisfaction with what appears to be a quiet dismantling of the Dark Order. Here are just some of the tweets concerning it. One of the complaints is that AEW seems to ignore its departures, keeping fans in the dark. Now, we all made jokes about WWE wishing people best on their future endeavors, but at least we know what's happening. People just disappearing is worse, especially for a well-loved organic team like the Dark Order. Dark Order fans feel the group hasn't been given a chance. I've been so excited about a lot of AEW's big signings, but it really hurts to see what's happening to the Dark Order. They were the heart and soul of Daily's Place era, and I really feel like TK dropped the ball on these guys. A very rare misstep in AEW's brief history. Another tweet addressed the status of Alan Angels. Alan Angels is still on AEW roster page and hasn't said if he's gone from the company, so I'm going to hold off on my full thoughts for now. But if AEW are continuing to lose members of the Dark Order, one of the hottest acts in the company last year, this screams incompetence. Now, there are many tweets complaining about AEW's treatment of the group, but these reflect the majority of the complaints. The Dark Order was one of AEW's most eclectic acts, and it certainly had potential as AEW kept fans in suspense over the identity of the group's mysterious leader, the Exalted One. Brody Lee did a great job as the group's leader, but his tragic passing seemed to take away the group's momentum. The Dark Order's babyface turn might have worked with a charismatic leader, but this never materialized as Hangman Adam Page's association with the group was downplayed. It also didn't help that the Dark Order became convenient punching bags for Page's opponents to take out in order to build up programs with him. Now, we don't agree that the Dark Order was a hot faction, but it was certainly underutilized. Further complicating things is that AEW has a huge talent roster and it can't keep everyone under contract. Some of the fans seem to feel that AEW is obligated to keep every wrestler under contract, but that's not how you run a business. As for the fans not knowing what's going on with releases, anyone who follows wrestling likely knows about AEW's releases through news on the internet. Are you guys disappointed that the Dark Order seems to be going its separate ways? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, an NXT Star Injured. Last but not least, it's time for Wrestlalamia's Medical Minute as we look at the latest wrestler bitten by the injury bug. NXT 2.0 superstar Nathan Frazer tweeted his fans that, "Dealing with a little injury right now, I'll be back before you know it." Frazer had been working in NXT UK but moved to NXT 2.0, debuting at its spring breaking event. We wish Frazer a fast and full recovery. But there you have it folks, the wildest news stories and rumours you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.